I switched my setup again. I don't know if I told y'all in my last video, but I just been trying to like switch up the setup or whatever, and this pretty much kind of works for me because it just shows everything that needs to be shown. And I don't really like showing my roommate's side just for the sake of her privacy, put her side on YouTube. And I just came to the realization that when I record on my side, my background is her side. So today I came to do this video, and I just wanted to talk about this experience that I had last summer. And I really don't know like what to classify this experience as, but when I was talking to like a few people about it, I spoke to my friend about it first, and she felt like it was like a more serious situation than I thought, because I just so happened to be telling her the story out of jokes and laughs, like just to get a kick out of it. And she was like, girl, like you should be careful, So last summer I was working at an amusement park, and with working at the amusement park, obviously I come in contact with a lot of strangers or whatever, and I don't think anything of it. Like sometimes people come and ask me directions because the amusement park was actually free to access. So you could walk in and out of the amusement park, you could view the rides, you could go get cotton candy, candy apples, funnel cake without actually purchasing a ticket to get inside the park. So the park was free, but the rides and everything weren't, obviously. So you could come in and take pictures, do whatever you wanted. So a lot of times people would come through the park because it was kind of like a shortcut from one side of the boardwalk to the street. So like you walk straight through the amusement park and you get from the boardwalk to the street. So a lot of people just cut through or whatever. So obviously a lot of people ask me for directions, like where was the bathroom, where was this, where was that. So I kind of took nothing of it when this guy like approached me. So the guy approaches me and he had on like a sweatshirt, sweatpants, and he had on like Nike slides with no socks on. His feet were so ashy. So I took nothing by it still, because I'm like, the beach is right there. So I don't know, maybe his feet was ashy from the sand or whatever. But he came and I thought that he was gonna ask me for directions, and he just came and he's like, hi, how are you, yada yada. And I'm like, I'm doing well, making casual conversation because it's pretty much my job to do so. So I didn't make a fuss about it. So he asked me, I don't remember exactly how the conversation started, but he showed me a picture on his phone of a woman, and he was like, this is my wife. And I said, oh, okay, like she's a very beautiful woman, like she's very beautiful. And he's like, oh yeah, we have 2 kids together, yada yada. And he just starts to tell me about himself. I don't remember what he said his name was, but I do remember that he said that he went to a school that was in New York, and he was actually a med student. It was as if he like knew who I was. Like it was so weird, because if you don't know, I do want to pursue medicine in the future. So after I'm done with my undergraduate, I will be moving on to medical school. So he came to me, he was like how he was a med student, and I forgot what school he said he went to, but it was a legit med school that I did know of, but I just don't remember. I don't recall which one he said it was. And he was like, he was a med student, and I was like, oh, okay, like that's nice. And he was like how he was gonna be graduating the next semester and yada yada. And he's like, he's trying to bring his wife from Jamaica for his graduation. So I'm like, your wife is in Jamaica, like what the heck? And he was like, his wife and his kids were in Jamaica still, and he couldn't pay for them to come from Jamaica to America for his graduation. So I was like, oh wow, like I hope you get that figured out, I ain't got no money, so don't ask me for none. But he just he mentioned that his wife and kids lived in Jamaica or whatever, and he asked me my name, and I said my name is Janae, because I'm a nice person. Like, for the most part, I was just like, we're just making conversation. It seemed innocent. And once he asked me my name and he mentioned that he was a med student, I was like, oh wow, that's such a coincidence because I actually want to pursue medicine. And he's like, oh really? Like, are you in college now? And I'm like, yes, I am. I go to Bethune-Cookman University, you know, and it sparked a conversation because we kind of related to each other on that topic. And then he started to like do the most. So I was kind of like done with the conversation at a certain point because we had been talking for like 10 minutes and nobody came to my ride. Like, I don't know what time of day it was or whatever, but nobody was coming to my freaking ride. So I'm just like, it was the perfect opportunity for him to stand there and keep talking to me. So with nobody coming to my ride, he kept talking to me, and I'm just like, somebody please save me. Like, do my supervisors not see this man freaking bothering me? So he wouldn't stop talking to me, and at a point in time I started to get annoyed. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, can you leave me alone? So I kept saying like, oh yeah, but you know, I should really get back to work or whatever. So some kids come to my ride. The kids come to my ride, get on the ride. The man still stands there. He just backs up a little bit so that they could have room to get on the ride and I could have room to do my job. And he still stays there. So I'm like, oh my freaking gosh. Like, what is it going to take for this man to freaking go away? Like, I thought he would go away as soon as somebody came to my ride. No, he stayed. So I'm just like at this point, I'm so freaking annoyed. I'm looking at everybody, giving them that look, like, please help me. Like, what are you doing? So there was this guy at my job that I was friends with, and he was working a ride right next to mine, and he was staring at me, and I'm staring at him, and I'm like, help me. Like, we're just staring at each other, and next thing you know, my supervisor, he comes and he's like, go on break. So I was like, so in my mind, I'm like, I don't know if he saw the guy and he was concerned, so he sent me on break. But I was like, if that was the case, he wouldn't have put another girl at the ride for me. You know, he would have probably sent a guy, or he would have spoken to the guy and asked him like what was his problem, like why was he standing around the ride or whatever. I don't think he really put two and two together. I think he just thought the guy was standing there and he wasn't. He was bothering me. So now I go on break, and the guy that was on the ride next to me, he goes on break too. So he comes and he was like, I was just about to come over here. And I was like, I was waiting for you to come save me. And he was like, yeah, I was gonna come over here and tell the guy that he needed to leave because he was bothering you. And I was like, that's exactly what I wanted you to do. Why did it take you so long? Like, what the heck? Okay, so the positioning or lighting might be different for a few seconds, but I completely forgot this part. At this point, the guy had actually received a phone call on his phone, obviously on his phone, but he had received a phone call and somebody called him and he said, oh, it's my wife. And I'm like, okay. And he speaks to whoever's on the phone, but it sounds like a man. And he speaks to them and he's like, yeah, you know, I'm just here hanging out with Janae. And I'm like, I don't know you. Like, why are you talking on the phone like you know me? He's like, yeah. He goes, yeah, I'm just standing here and I'm at the park with Janae. Yeah, she's a college student. She goes to Bethune-Cookman. Yeah, she's 19. Yeah, she's really cool. And I'm like, what in the world? It was like he was telling them about me. Like, he received a phone call. And this leads me to think even more that he probably was like trying to do something. Like, he was trying to sex traffic me, because I'm like, he received the phone call right on time. Like they scheduled the phone call. And once he got the phone call, he's like, yeah, I'm talking to Janae from BCU and she's 19. And I'm like, huh? Like, it really scared the life out of me. And at this point, I really started getting scared. And I never once even thought about the fact that he was at an amusement park without kids. And I know that may sound like weird, but the amusement park that I worked in was a kiddie park. So there was a height limit That's how kiddie it was. So you couldn't be too big to get on the rides. Therefore, there was no reason why an adult should be at the park without children. So I go, and at the amusement park they had a pizzeria. So I go to the pizzeria to get food, and I'm online with the guy that was at the ride next to me. So I'm online with the guy, and we're waiting to order. And next thing I know, I hear behind me, "So, are you on break, Janae?" And I was like, "This dude following me? Like, is he freaking following me?" And I was like ignoring him, and I'm like, and he's like, "So are you gonna get some pizza?" And he's standing behind me. He's like, "So are you gonna get some pizza? Is their pizza good?" And I'm literally ignoring him. I'm not saying anything to him. He's like, "So how long is your break? Do you want to go get some lunch for your break? Are you gonna eat this pizza? Okay, I'm gonna buy some pizza too." Like, literally talking to himself. And I'm just like, I didn't know. Like, I just spoke to him friendly, and he just became obsessive. Like, so we're on the line, and he's still talking to me. So the guy then turns around, and he's like, "She's on break. Leave her alone. Stop talking to her." And he had to like get really stern with her. So after he does this, he turns around, and the guy is still behind me, and he goes, "Is that your boyfriend, Janae? Is that why he did that? Is that why he's talking to me like that?" And I'm like, "Bruh, leave me alone. What is wrong with you?" So I'm on the freaking line, and I go get my pizza and everything. And once I get off the line, I see like he orders food or whatever, and he gets off the line, and he's still behind me. So I was like, "Please leave me alone. Stay away from me." Like, and he was like, "Okay." And that was literally it. So the whole entire time I was at work for the rest of the day, I was watching my back, of course, because I had no idea where he went. Like, I saw him walk out the park and onto the boardwalk, but he like came back, like he doubled back and came to the amusement park. Like, he was trying to be sneaky or something. So I don't know what the heck was going on. But I came to tell this story because I was watching a lot of stories about sex trafficking. And this is what they do. They target you when you're most vulnerable. They target like nice people. They target people that are gonna converse back with them. They ask you about your life, you know. They make it seem like they're interested, and like you could find a friend in them, you know. They try to target people in which they think that they like need people, you know. And I'm just like, sorry, I have people on my side, okay? I am not somebody that is in this world alone. So you tried the wrong freaking one. And I'm just like, you're at my job. Like, everybody sees you, you know? So I'm just like, I'm just gonna watch my back. Like, when I go home, I'm gonna be careful, because I don't know where he is, if he's watching me, if he's following me, or whatever the case may be. Because I did take the train home, so I'm like, I just need to watch my back or whatever. And that was the last I've ever seen him. But when I told my friend the story, she mentioned to me, and I didn't want to like say it out loud. I just told her the story to laugh about it, and I also wanted to see how she would react to it, because after watching all the sex trafficking videos, I'm like, shoot, like, that's kind of how somebody approached me one time or whatever. And when I told her the story, she was like, "Girl, he was probably trying to sex traffic you. You shouldn't have told him anything. That's what they do. They ask you your name. They ask you where you go to school at, where you from. You told him everything." And I was just like, how can I be so stupid? Like it was just so, and I wouldn't even say that I was stupid. Let me take that back. I wouldn't even say that I was stupid, but what I would really say is that he was super slick with it. Like, he found something in the conversation that related to me, and it sparked up a conversation, and I ended up telling him, like, basically about my whole entire life. Not anything that was detrimental, but I did tell him the basis of my life. Like, what school I went to, how old I was, what my name was. You know, he knows where I work now. So it was just like, yeah, I'm like, I need to be more careful in situations like that, because I don't know what he could have done with that information, or if he was trying to hurt me or anything, or what he was even capable of doing. But that was super scary and like creepy. I wanted to make this video because I do see a lot of these videos out there, and just to let you guys know to be more careful in situations like that, because in that situation it could have really gone left with me had I not been in the place that I was in, you know, and had somebody not been looking out for me, you know. It could have gone completely left, especially if I was outside by myself or anything. So I just want to tell you guys, like, you know, be careful in situations like that. You might want to be more mindful with who you tell about yourself, even if it's a woman. They typically send women to target other women, and it's pretty sad, but that's how they are. Do you think that this guy was trying to do? Like, do you think that he could have possibly been sex trafficking me? Like, or trying to sex traffic me? And that is the end of this video. So if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, and you already know, share with your whole entire family, your auntie, cousin, sister, brother, uncle, niece, nephew, whatever, grandma, grandpa, whatever. So leave a comment down below about what you think about this situation, and bye.